Good morning. The background is different because we're doing something I have been wanting to do for years, and that is going on a writing retreat. Hi, my name is Dawn Dalton. I am a freelance writer and an author, and this weekend I am in a cabin in the woods with my friend Claire, and we are doing a writing retreat. And while I've done quite a few in-home writing retreats before, I've never actually left the house. And I am super lucky that Claire knew somebody who had a cabin, and we are going to spend the weekend in the woods. And I'm going to take you guys along with me. So the plan for the weekend is that over the course of today, tomorrow, and Sunday, I would like to get 25 blocks of writing done. That's either 25 pages of handwriting or 12,500 words typed. So, and I know Claire has a bunch of projects she wants to work on, but she didn't tell me what they were before I started recording. So I also brought some coloring books with me and a couple of books to read, just so that we can also relax the brain and recharge and enjoy this weekend. It is 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I do have to say this was probably the best idea we have ever had. We've kind of hit that lazy point in the day. I wrote 5 pages this morning. We went for over a mile walk, and then we wrote for a little bit longer, and then kind of hit lazy. And I laid down and read. Claire's taking a nap. I'm up to 9 pages for the day, and it'll be interesting to see how many I can actually get done before the day is over, just because we literally have no internet whatsoever, and cell coverage is so spotty that it takes forever for texts to go through. So it's just interesting to kind of get away from tech and have nothing to focus on but your work. And I am interested to see how much stuff I can get done this weekend. So let's get back to it. Good morning. It is Saturday. Claire and I just finished breakfast. I have to still do the breakfast dishes. I just dropped her off at the front gate because she double booked herself this weekend and is running a mud run with her daughter. So I get the cabin to myself for a couple of hours. So I'm gonna do the dishes and take a quick shower, and then we're gonna get to writing. Yesterday was an amazing day. I wrote 14 handwritten pages for Roll of the Dice. And it feels good to reconnect with the story in the way that I'm doing it. So I had to actually give up at the end of the day yesterday because my hand was just getting so tired. In addition to where I normally have the pen rest, up here I also was rubbing pretty hard. So I also finished reading a book and started a new one, so that was good. And yeah, this has been a lot of fun. Claire and I have had lots of conversations already, and yeah, it's been worth it to be here. We went for a walk yesterday, wore ourselves out, and then came back and wrote. And yeah, the only downside is there is absolutely zero Wi-Fi signal, and even cell coverage is like you're on edge data, so it's not even all that great. So we've been relying on, if people need to get a hold of us, text, and hopefully sometime within the next hour I'll get it. So yeah, let's get the dishes done, get a shower taken, and and make myself a cup of coffee and get back to writing, because that's what we're here for. The fact that I only have to do 11 pages to reach my goal in the next 2 days is wild to me, and now I'm curious to see how much more I can actually get done. So let's get to it. I'm glad that I brought the pen case. I just ran out of ink in this pen, so it's a good thing I brought an extra one with me. It is just after 1 in the afternoon on Saturday, and I'm up to 7 pages already today, which puts me at 21 pages for the weekend, which is absolutely ridiculous. But it also goes to show what I can do when I am not completely and utterly distracted. Do I want this to be my everyday? No, because my hand hurts. Is this something I would like to do more often, where I shut off my ability to get to the Wi-Fi? Probably. We're already talking about wanting to come back out here again, maybe in the fall. Claire's still not home yet from her race this morning, so we'll see how she's feeling when she gets back. We have 1 more day, and I still have most of today yet to write. I think I am going to try to hit the 25 pages today, because it's only 4 more pages to write, and then I've hit 25 pages, and I've hit my goal for the weekend. I've already finished a book and now a pen, so I'm feeling really, really good about this weekend. Good morning. It is the morning of day 3. It's Sunday, and I thought today was going to be the day where I was rushing to get as many words as humanly possible to meet my goal. And then I hit my goal last night and exceeded it. My original goal for the weekend was to write 25 blocks, which was 25 handwritten pages, because I don't really have anything that I am actively typing up. And yesterday I wrote 14 pages. And Friday I wrote 14 pages, which means I'm up to 28 pages. So I did it. So today is the day Claire and I are packing up and getting ready to head home. But we are going to do a little bit more writing before we go. And today is just going to be all about how much can I actually get done this weekend. So let's check the water tank, get some breakfast, and get some writing done. And just like that, the weekend is over and I am home. And that was much needed. And I cannot thank Claire enough for talking with the owner of the cabin to get us the chance to stay there and to have a weekend away where we get to write. So, how did it go? I went into the weekend with two major goals. One was to write 25 pages. The other one was to finish reading at least one book. And I'm happy to say that both of those goals not only were met, but were exceeded. I ended the weekend with 30 pages handwritten, and I could have done more. Except after a while, the pen rubs on your hand and you have to stop or you're going to do damage to your body. Sunday, I only wrote 2 pages. And part of that was, we still had to pack up, clean up the cabin, get everything reloaded in the car. What I didn't really show was how steep the entryway was to get to the cabin. We actually parked on the main road because there was no way my car was going to make it down and then back up that driveway. Luckily, we were the last cabin on that road, so we were able to just park up at the top. And then for my reading, I finished not 1, but 2 books and started a 3rd. So it was a great weekend, and I think the absolute lack of Wi-Fi and the barely any phone signal did play a huge part in how much I did get done. We're already talking about doing it again. So that was the good for the weekend. The bad was, obviously, I didn't bring anything other than handwriting with me. So once my hand gave up, that was it for my writing for the day. I also didn't download enough music to really get me into the different books that I wanted to work on. We were pretty much stuck with whatever was on my phone and whatever Claire had downloaded. And so it was a lot of sea shanties and a lot of like fantasy, medieval, Middle Earth music, which was fine, but it was not what my story needed. The other bad thing was Claire had double booked herself for the weekend, so Saturday morning we finished breakfast and I took her to the gate so she could go run a race, and then she didn't come back until almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so she missed the majority of a day of work, of writing, and it kind of, the walls kind of started to press in, being completely and utterly alone and knowing that drive to get back out was, I don't want to say dangerous, but not comfortable, because the road was gravel and it was nothing but windy hills, and there were times where I wasn't sure my car was going to make it. But all in all, it was a great experience. I'm glad that we got to actually go out and do a writing retreat. I know Claire's goal for the weekend was just to get back into her stories, and not only did she do that, but she got, I think, 14 pages done. So all in all, great weekend. I would 100% do it again. We're talking about seeing if we can get the same cabin, maybe in the fall, or going and finding some cute little Airbnb somewhere else where we can also do a little bit of exploring, just to kind of refresh our minds and work our legs a little bit, because we did have to go for walks in the woods and it was hot and sticky and not super pleasant, but it was still a lot of fun. So if you've been enjoying watching me go and do crazy things like go to a cabin in the woods with next to no signal just so I can sit and write, be sure to feed the algorithm, boop that like button, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.